With great joy and emotion, the Catholic world has received the news of a second miracle attributed to the intercession of Blessed Carlo Acutis, paving the way for his canonization. The young Italian, who passed away at just 15 years old, has become a symbol of modern holiness, blending faith with a passion for technology. His life, though brief, has had a profound impact on thousands of people around the world, inspiring them to a deeper understanding and love for God. Carlo Acutis, known as the digital evangelist, was renowned for creating websites documenting Eucharistic miracles and promoting Christian values online. His extraordinary spirituality, combined with a modern approach to evangelization, made him a role model for youth. Since his beatification in 2020, Carlo's tomb in Assisi has become a site of numerous pilgrimages and prayers, with his veneration rapidly growing. Now, with the confirmation of the second miracle attributed to his intercession, the Catholic Church is preparing for his canonization. Around Carlo's tomb in Assisi, extraordinary events are happening. Testimonies of healings, conversions, and other graces are continuously reported. The story of this young saint demonstrates that holiness is attainable for everyone, regardless of age or the times we live in. Blessed Carlo Acutis reminds us that modern technology can serve the proclamation of the gospel, and that true faith knows no temporal or spatial boundaries. Carlo Acutis is becoming one of the most popular saints of the Church before our eyes, and his story is winning the hearts of the faithful worldwide. His beatification and upcoming canonization are not only formal recognitions of his holiness, but also confirmations that his life and spirituality have a profound impact on the contemporary Church. Each year, thousands of pilgrims come to Assisi to visit his tomb, seeking comfort and spiritual strength. The increasing number of pilgrimages to his grave testifies to the extraordinary intercessory power of Blessed Carlo. Hundreds of testimonies from people who have experienced miraculous interventions and graces through his intercession paint a picture of a saint who not only lives in memory, but also actively influences the lives of the faithful. His life, filled with prayer, commitment to the Church, and an exceptional understanding of modern media, which he used to spread the gospel, makes him a unique patron for contemporary times. Carlo Acutis, although of Italian descent, was born in London on May 3, 1991, where his parents, Antonia and Andrea Acutis, were residing at the time. Only 2 weeks later, on May 18th, he was baptized, and to celebrate the occasion, Mrs. Antonia ordered a cake in the shape of a lamb. This symbolic cake foreshadowed that little Carlo, upon receiving baptism, was under the special care of Jesus, the Good Shepherd. From his earliest years, Carlo stood out in a way that elicited admiration and awe from his family. His parents and grandparents considered him an extraordinarily gifted boy. Even as an infant, Carlo had rapidly developing language skills, speaking his first words at a very young age. At the age of 6, he became fascinated with programming and film editing, which not only demonstrated his intellectual sharpness, but also his ability to express himself creatively. However, what undoubtedly set Carlo apart from other children was his deep piety. At the age of 4, he had a dream that forever changed his life. In this dream, his deceased grandfather asked him to pray for all the souls in purgatory, including his own. This special moment had a profound impact on young Carlo. From then on, he included in his daily prayers all those awaiting the opportunity to meet God. His concern for the souls in purgatory became a part of his daily prayer and spiritual life. Carlo placed great importance on praying for others, reflecting his deep faith and love for God and his neighbors. From a very young age, he made it clear that his life would be dedicated not only to striving for personal holiness, but also to caring for the salvation of others. Carlo's piety and spirituality were not his only distinguishing features. As a child of remarkable intelligence and sensitivity, he naturally and authentically integrated fundamental Christian values, such as love, compassion, and devotion, into his life. Through his engagement with faith and modern technology, he became an example of a young Catholic who could blend his passion with deep spirituality. Was Carlo Acutis not of this world? In a sense, certainly. His life and attitude indicate a profound awareness that transcended everyday human concerns. Carlo understood something that often escapes our attention, that our life on earth is merely a stop on the journey to eternity. He realized that the true and most important life challenge is striving to reach the goal of heaven. His peers, who had the honor of knowing Carlo, often remarked that he seemed to possess knowledge and wisdom beyond his years. They expressed a sense that God had endowed him with a special grace to understand the most difficult and profound issues, even though he was still a young boy. However, although Carlo had qualities that might seem supernatural, his daily life was full of normal human experiences. He was an ordinary boy who liked running, playing soccer, and was fascinated by computers and new technologies. He loved animals, keeping dogs, cats, and fish, which added charm to his everyday life. Carlo attended a regular school and had typical friends for his age. Despite his life being full of ordinary childhood activities, it nevertheless reflected something extraordinary. His passion for technology and media resulted in the creation of several innovative projects, the most notable being a multimedia exhibition dedicated to Eucharistic miracles. This exhibition not only showcased his deep understanding and love for the Eucharist, but also demonstrated his talent and ability to use modern tools to spread faith. Carlo did not confine his piety to private religious practices. His public projects, like the exhibition, were a testament to his desire to share his faith with others. While he used modern technology, he always aimed for his work and passions to serve a higher purpose, promoting Christian values and bearing witness to God's love. Through his remarkable ability to combine passion with faith, Carlo Acutis remains an inspiration for young people and believers worldwide. His life shows that one can be part of this world, engaging in its everyday matters, while maintaining lofty goals and values that transcend temporal limitations. Carlo, through his testimony, proved that true holiness can be present in the most ordinary moments of daily life. The life of Carlo Acutis, full of energy and enthusiasm, was tragically cut short by an unexpected illness. Initially, the symptoms resembled a common cold, but it quickly became apparent that his health was deteriorating at an alarming rate. When he was admitted to the hospital, doctors diagnosed him with acute myeloid leukemia. His brain ceased functioning on October 11, 2006, and his death was confirmed on October 12. Just a few years after his premature passing, the supernatural impact of his prayers began to be recognized. Carlo's beatification process started in the Diocese of Milan in 2013, and his holiness began to be acknowledged at the church level. On July 5, 2018, Pope Francis approved the decree on the heroic nature of his virtues, recognizing Carlo as an example of extraordinary piety and virtue. Another step towards canonization took place on February 21, 2020, when the Pope approved a miracle attributed to his intercession. This miracle occurred in Brazil and involved a young boy born with a severe pancreatic defect. This condition caused significant digestive issues, and the child could only consume liquids, suffering from constant pain and discomfort. The only chance to save the boy's life was a highly risky surgery. When Father Marcelo Tenorio, pastor of St. Sebastian Parish in Campo Grande, learned of the boy's situation, he decided to start a public novena for the intercession of Blessed Carlo. As part of the novena, Carlo's mother sent her son's turtleneck, stained with his blood, to Brazil as a symbol of his spiritual presence and prayer. Father Tenorio and the faithful fervently prayed for a miracle. After the prayer and blessing, the child immediately felt better. On the third day of the novena, the young patient returned home, could eat, and soon his pancreas showed no signs of the disease. The boy, who had previously struggled with constant pain, was now healthy and full of energy. This extraordinary healing was recognized as a miracle brought about through the intercession of Carlo Acutis. Today, as we remember Carlo's life not only as an example of holiness, but also as a patron of young people and technology, his story continues to inspire the faithful worldwide. Carlo Acutis shows that true holiness is not reserved for adults or those who live in isolation from the world, but can be present in the life of anyone, regardless of age. We invite you all to join in prayer and take advantage of the invaluable intercessory power of Blessed Carlo Acutis. If you have an intention you would like to entrust to his care, we encourage you to share it in the comments section below. We are delighted to announce that Carlo Acutis, the blessed whose life and prayers continue to impact many, will be canonized. On May 23, 2024, the Vatican's Dicastery for the Causes of Saints confirmed that a second miracle occurred through Carlo's intercession, significantly advancing his recognition as a saint of the Church. This time, the miracle concerns a 21-year-old woman from Costa Rica who was studying in Florence. In July 2022, while riding her bicycle, she was involved in a severe accident that resulted in a critical head injury. Immediately after the accident, she was taken to the hospital, where doctors decided to perform an urgent cranial surgery to relieve pressure on her brain. Despite the swift medical intervention, her condition remained critical, and the prognosis was uncertain. Faced with such a dramatic situation, a colleague of the girl's mother immediately began praying for the intercession of Blessed Carlo Acutis. After several days of intense prayer, the girl's mother traveled to Assisi to pray at Carlo's tomb in person. On that very day, an inexplicable breakthrough occurred. The girl started to breathe on her own, marking the first sign of improvement after the severe accident. Within just 10 days, her health significantly improved, and she was discharged from the intensive care unit. Moreover, within the next month, she left the rehabilitation ward after only a week of therapy. Her complete recovery was so inexplicably fast that it was recognized as a miraculous healing through the intercession of Blessed Carlo. This extraordinary event not only confirms the holiness of Carlo Acutis, but also his still living presence and intercessory power, which brings comfort and healing to those who turn to him in faith. Carlo's canonization will not only be the crowning of his sainthood, but also a call for the faithful to trust in his intercession and find new sources of hope and inspiration in his life and prayers. It is worth emphasizing that the life and death of Blessed Carlo Acutis are not only an inspiring testimony of faith, but also a living reminder that holiness is attainable for everyone, regardless of age or circumstances. His extraordinary story, full of passion for God and commitment to modern technology, shows that the true calling to holiness can take various forms, adapted to the times in which we live. The miraculous healings that occurred through Carlo's intercession are not only evidence of his sainthood, but also a reminder that God works in our lives in mysterious and loving ways. His supernatural interventions are proof that trust in divine providence and prayer can bring about miracles, even in the darkest moments. Carlo Acutis' canonization will not only honor his life, but also serve as an invitation for each of us to find inspiration in his example to live a life full of faith, love, and dedication. As a young patron of the Church, Carlo becomes a guide for contemporary believers, especially young people, showing how modernity can be combined with deep spirituality. His life and miracles testify that true treasures are hidden in the simplicity of the heart and fervor of prayer. Carlo Acutis reminds us that each of us can be a bearer of God's love and grace, and his story encourages us to strive for holiness in our daily choices.